when you're there, it's like, it's such a tough environment. And we're just fortunate that we were able to get to the other side and be so happy and confident where we are now.
Susie, from your perspective, is there a moment that you wish you maybe would have told Clayton earlier what your expectations were? And do you think that would have changed things?
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking back, I would have said something way earlier. When I was there, I didn't think it was there really wasn't a great time to have that conversation. Things move so fast. We both experience it in different ways. You know, you go from hometowns and then you think, okay, I might be going home. And then all of a sudden you're in Iceland and all of a sudden you're the third fantasy suite date. And it's too late to get a conversation. But I also didn't think that I should tell Clayton how to do this. And I guess that was my mentality, was like, I think this could prove our compatibility or not. And we have kind of come to the conclusion that I was living with my real world expectations and there's nothing wrong with that. And Clayton adapted to what is, I guess, the process and, dating multiple women. And he, acted in a way that many bachelors before have. And we both agree that there's nothing wrong with like either way we went about the process. But what we could have done better was just have more empathy for each other and be able to understand the other person's perspective while we were in that moment. But we were our minds were living in different realities at that point. And we've since been able to come to the same reality. But when you're there, it's like, it's such a tough environment. And we're just fortunate that we were able to get to the other side and be so happy and confident where we are now.
How was watching the show back? Were you nervous to relive that heated fantasy suite episode? Did you guys learn anything from watching kind of you fight on screen?
I think we both did. I think we learned a lot from our discussions after the show, more than anything. We didn't hold back. We rehashed that entire night on several occasions. And we both could have done better that night. I could have communicated better. You could have communicated better, been, more understanding of my perspective. We both learned so much. And watching it back was, it was sad and it was tough because I could see on Clayton's face, when I brought up that topic, I could just see, I was like, oh my gosh, you can see the devastation in his face and that realization of like kind of coming back down or coming back over to the real world where I was living. And it just broke my heart because I knew it was coming. So it was tough to watch.
And how did you prepare Susie for what she was going to see with the last couple episodes when she wasn't necessarily still involved in everything that was going to play out at the rose ceremony from hell and your breakup was with Gabby and Rachel?
I felt that it was just best to, and we did this right from the start when we started talking after the show, was we opened up our journals because we had really written down everything from the beginning to the end of the journey. And we opened them up and we just read them to each other all the way through. I didn't take out anything. There was a lot of stuff in there. And I wanted her to know this is exactly how it went. These are my inner thoughts. I want you to know, and some of the stuff I'm sure was hard to hear, and it was hard for me to hear some of it too. I mean, she read me how she felt after that night, and she had very, very strong feelings about, who she now saw me for who I was in that moment, and it hurt because I knew I hurt her. I knew that I was out of line. I knew that I attacked her character, and I shouldn't have. But we just read it because we wanted to say, hey, listen, let's make sure there are no surprises, because we're gonna have to watch this back and we're gonna have millions of people that are gonna also be commenting now. And we cannot allow, there's surely going to affect us in some way, but we need to make sure that we're rock solid and that we already know what's coming. So there are no additional surprises that could potentially shake this relationship.